to Pink Ambitions Part 2 of Poetic Devices. Poetic devices is basically the building blocks you need to know in order to master poetry. So today we'll be going over imagery and figurative language, all these concepts, simile, metaphor, personification, hyperbole, understatement, and symbolism fall under this category. Okay, please forgive me for this mistake. Simile is here, okay? So it's basically it's not this. This is symbolism, okay? I sincerely apologize for that mistake. Okay, so simile is using the words like or has in comparison. So basically, he smiled, was as bright as sunshine. Brave as a lion. So you're basically comparing two things with the words like or has. Okay, metaphor is not like simile. Metaphor is a direct comparison. Okay, without the words, without. So time is a thief. The classroom was a zoo after the test ended. Okay, you're basically saying directly what it is. Personification, we are giving human traits, right? Human traits to non-human items. So basically, the sun smiled down on the city. Now, the sun cannot smile. Humans can smile. But we are giving the sun a human quality, which is to smile. And this is basically what personification is. We are giving something that's not living, the sun does not live. We are giving it a human trait. That is what it is. That is what personification is. Next slide. Hyperbole. When you think of hyperbole, think of that friend that said, "Oh my word, I called you 1,000 times. Why didn't you pick up?" But they didn't call you 1,000 times. They probably only just called you 5 times. So that is what hyperbole is. It's over exaggeration, extreme exaggeration. I told you 1,000,000 times. See? Exaggeration. Understatement. Understatement is a bit like sarcasm. So we say one thing, but we mean something else. It's saying less than you mean. It's a bit chilly during a snowstorm. So imagine there's a snowstorm, but then you get that one friend that says, "Oh no, it's not that chilly. It's just a bit chilly." Or there was a huge accident, but you say, "No, it's just a scratch." Symbolism now. Symbolism is something standing for something bigger. So a lot of the time in poetry, we don't really look at what's there. We look at something much bigger. We if there's a word, we don't look at the word. We think about what it actually means. But there could be 1,000 different meanings. So in this case, a rose. When we think of a red rose, it represents love. When we think of a snowstorm or a storm, it represents conflict. So that is what symbolism is. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for part 2 of Poetic Devices.